How's it going, everybody? I'm the BTC Reaper. My goal on this channel is to teach you how to reap the rewards of trading while the price is going up or down. We'll hop over here to the total. I was just taking a quick look at Bitcoin. But for the total for the daily, we are pushing up. We did see the Dixie make the retracement down to the 300 EMA, like we said, so watch for those continued supports that we have mentioned over the last week. Our stochastic is pushing forward, RSI is gaining strength. Our VWAP is remaining bullish as that yellow wave. As that yellow wave pushes forward, our momentum, our blue wave, will continue higher, and our money flow could go from being red into the green, giving us a trend reversal and showing we have more buying rather than selling. We did pull back into this flag, so that does give us the possibility to invalidate the rest of the breakdown and invalidate this rising channel. I would still watch very close though, because we are still within the rising channel, so we could still see a breakdown later. Maybe we come up to our 602 resistance and get rejected. So watch if we can hold that resistance. If we can, then we could get a strong push through that golden pocket, retrace these losses, and try to move to the 674. But if we come up toward that level and then reject, we could retest this 300 EMA. And if we lose this 300 EMA again, we're likely going to see our altcoins sell off. Remember, this is the market cap of all of our altcoins besides Ethereum. So I would watch very close there. Over on Bitcoin futures for the daily, we did increase despite Bitcoin increasing. Total didn't really increase as much, so that could signal people are buying Bitcoin and they are adding to stable coins as well. So this could be positive. Our dominance is pushing forward. We are gaining a little bit. Bitcoin again did push up slightly higher than total, so that gave us the increase. Usually when our dominance starts to decrease, we will see our altcoins run up. So you want to see this dominance actually continue to weaken if you're hoping for an altcoin season. Remember, we could see a run up on total and Bitcoin, with Bitcoin reaching its previous highs at 70K and total pushing forward. But we could also try to push higher than that, but we'll get on that on Bitcoin. Our stochastic does want to push higher. We do want to get that blue above orange. That could give us a bullish cross. That will push our if I can get the word out, our RSI higher, and that will bring price action higher as well. That VWAP does want to break that neutral, so that is positive. That is trying to give our momentum strength. We do have that green dot, so if that VWAP can continue to favor above that neutral, we will see momentum push higher, and money flow will gain further strength, pushing away from that zero area. Again, when that money flow is green, we do have more buying rather than selling. Sorry, did not mean to go to the 4 hour there. Over on the Bitcoin futures, we did push up toward our neckline for a cup and handle possibility. I would watch. That could be a rejection of that possible pattern, which could keep us within this double top. However, when we get to Bitcoin, we do have some hope to push forward. Our stochastic does want to push up. RSI is pretty flat. That VWAP is in the bullish territory, but it's not very strong. Momentum is pushing up, and money flow does want to gain strength. We want to see that VWAP start to favor more bullish here and gain more strength, getting more solid waves like back here if we're going to continue our bounce forward and push to that point of control. Over on the 4 hour, we do have a manipulation X. I would exercise caution. We did have a little bit of a gap there, so this could be in response to that gap. We could be dropping down to fill it, but remember, we do have that gap below us yet that we did not fill. So if we do end up breaking away from this channel, we do want to hang up around that 56.6 area and actually get a solid candle fill. Our stochastic does look like it could start to round. RSI is pulling back. That VWAP is starting to round away. We are in the bullish territory though, and this wave is a little stronger than the previous. If we can create a higher low, we could create a bullish trend to push momentum higher and give that money flow strength, which would in turn strengthen the daily if the 4 hour can remain bullish. Over on the 2 hour here, we do have lower highs with lower lows, so this could be a bit of a bearish channel. We would want to watch if this is very connected. Remember, this is our parallel channel. You draw your tops together, then you draw down to your bottoms. So this is a descending channel. That is positive because while it can bring us lower and try to fill that gap, it could also push us higher in the long term above that 60K. And remember, we want to hold above 61.7 if we're going to get continued bullish momentum. Our momentum is pushing forward, but we have a red dot. So if that VWAP continues to round away, momentum could make a break toward the bearish territory and money flow could start to break down. I would watch that very close. If that VWAP does get a lower low and then rejects crossing back into the bullish territory like we're seeing on this 1 hour, that could end up breaking us down below that support level if we do not hang up where that gap is, we're around that 56.6. Stochastic is pulling back. We do have our orange above blue. Momentum is dropping. Our VWAP is favoring bearish, bringing money flow lower. So watch that VWAP close. We need to break back into the bullish territory and continue to favor bullish like back here. Otherwise, if we start to favor bearish like we did back here, we will see continued sell-off here, and that could result in the higher time frame starting to weaken if we are not careful. But on Bitcoin, the little bit of hope we have is we did push back into our bull flag possibility. This could be a freak breakdown, so that would be positive. That would mean that the 90K is still on the table for this bull flag right around that 91, 92K level. So that could be very positive, but we need that positivity to remain on the lower time frames if we're going to get a solid move up. Our VWAP does have higher highs. Momentum is pushing forward. Money flow is trying to break that neutral and flip green. Stochastic and RSI are running, so the daily does look positive. I would watch those lower time frames and watch futures, as futures does look a little sketchy. Over on the 4-hour here, Stochastic does want to round away. RSI is pretty flat. Our momentum is rounding as that VWAP is starting to pull back, but that VWAP is favoring bullish, That VWAP is favoring bullish, pushing momentum higher and giving money flow that strength. We do have a reversal arrow though, so I would watch out for that reversal arrow. If we start seeing some red candles and we break this support level, it's likely the bears could try to push us lower. Again, watch for some hang up in that 56.6. If we don't get that, we could see a rejection and trend lower still. Over on the 2-hour, we are running up pretty good, but we do have a very quick move right now that could set us up for a temporary loss. If we can get that loss and then bounce forward like we have been, that would be positive. We could see a healthy move forward. However, remember, a quick swing one way could be retraced by a quick swing the other, so I would exercise caution because that could set us up to see sell-off if the bears start to gain control after we whipsaw up then down. Momentum does want to round. That VWAP is bullish. We did get a slightly lower low, but now we are testing with consistent highs. If that VWAP can maintain a bullish trend from here, momentum will remain bullish, money flow would remain bullish, and that could give that 4-hour some further strength. If you look at the 4-hour, money flow does want to round and VWAP is pulling back, but if the 2-hour maintains strength, we will see that reverse and give the 4-hour strength, which would in turn push the daily up. Over on the 1-hour, we are getting a little bit of a retracement. We did get a green dot. Green dots usually signal you want to push up, but I really don't trade on them because they seem like a mixed bag to me. Our momentum does want to round away, Stochastic is starting to round as well. VWAP is pulling back. Watch if we can get a higher low. If we can get a higher low followed by consistent or higher highs from here, momentum would remain bullish, money flow would push up, and we could continue above our 300 EMA. That would be very positive because that is that critical support resistance that we want to hold above. And if we can continue to hold above it, we can continue further and try to trend on that EMA on the higher time frames, which could help push us higher up as well. So over on graph for the daily, we did get a pretty decent move forward. We are hitting an EMA level and kind of sticking on it. Remember, we are using our market cipher A and B right here. So if you're not familiar, visit our Mastering the Trade series. Our Stochastic does want to round away. RSI is starting to round as a result. VWAP is pushing forward. We do have slightly higher highs with higher lows, pushing momentum higher and giving money flow strength. So this is positive. This could help continue to push us up. Over on the 4-hour, we do have a reversal arrow. So again, exercise caution. That could bring us lower. Momentum does want to round. VWAP is pulling back. Stochastic starting to sell off. And our VWAP is pushing down. If that VWAP gets a lower low or consistent low with lower highs, momentum will start to break and money flow could fall flat. So watch if that VWAP can make a bounce here. Over on our 2-hour, we are pushing up toward EMA levels. We're pushing up to our third highest. This is positive. We need to break and hold if we're going to continue further up. Our Stochastic is pulling back. RSI is weakening as a result, so watch Stochastic close. If it makes a break below 30, RSI could bring price action lower. Momentum does want to round away, and our VWAP is testing neutral, so watch if that VWAP breaks and then fails to cross back into the bullish territory. If that VWAP breaks bearish and then fails to cross bullish, momentum will weaken and money flow would pull back. That would result in price action selling off as well. Over on the 1-hour, we are above that 300 EMA, so that is very positive. If we can continue, you can see we got that retest. That retest would be where you want to trade because you make your pullback, hit your support level, and continue forward. That would be your indicator that you could continue higher. So we do have other resistance areas. We are right in this range here. So we have one right around that 19,756, one right around this 2360, and then another one right around this 21,216. So those would be the next areas of support and resistance I would watch for if you want to push forward. Momentum is pulling back. That VWAP is favoring bearish. Money flow is breaking down. So watch that VWAP close. If we make a break for the bearish territory and see lower lows from here, momentum will pull back. Money flow would weaken, and that could in turn weaken those higher time frames if it prolongs for several hours. Over on Ankr for the daily, we are still within this rising channel. We did not get our breakdown, much like Bitcoin. Stochastic does want to push up. RSI is pushing forward. VWAP is gaining strength. Momentum is pushing up, and money flow does want to continue further. So this could be positive, but we're struggling to break that 2883. Over on the 4-hour, we do have a reversal arrow that did try to push us forward off support, so that could be positive. Stochastic does want to push up. Momentum is gaining strength. VWAP is remaining bullish, and money flow is pushing higher. So all in all, that could be positive. Watch these EMAs though, because it does look like we're struggling to break some. Over on the 2-hour, stochastic is pretty flat. We really can't go much further, so RSI will pretty much be overbought as well, and that could help continue price action further up. But remember, you don't stay overbought forever. Eventually, you could end up breaking down. It may not bring price action down right away though, so keep that in mind as well. VWAP does want to round away, so watch that VWAP close. If it rounds away from here, momentum will weaken and money flow could start to fall flat. Over on our 1-hour, we did break our 300 EMA here as well. We did not get a retest, but we created a gap and we are trying to push forward. What I would watch here is that is a long upper shadow candle. Remember, long upper shadow candles show that the bulls try to push you up and the bears are gaining control and can bring you back. We did fill a previous gap, so this may be all the bullish theme we get. I would watch very close right here. Our VWAP does want to pull back. Momentum is rounding. Stochastic is running forward and RSI is pushing forward. So as long as that VWAP does not break for a lower low with lower highs, we will continue further. But if that VWAP does make a bearish trend, that's where we would see that sell-off. Over on XRP for the daily, we did hit our 54 resistance area and our 57. We did say there was a possibility to see a break around that 60. We did break that value area low, so all in all, this is pretty good. If the rest of the market can continue forward, we could continue to run forward as well. We are hanging on that 300 EMA though, so remember that is a critical area, and if we cannot break and hold, then we could see a rejection and continue to pull back. If we see red candles just above that value area low on the fixed range volume profile, then we are going to trend below and possibly break it. That's where we may see those lower supports if we're not careful. Our stochastic does want to round. RSI is starting to pull back. VWAP is rounding away. Momentum does want to reject the neutral, and money flow is starting to reject as well, so I would watch very close. Over on the 4-hour, we do have a bearish engulfing candle. Remember, that's when you have a red candle that's as big or bigger than the previous green candle, and we are continuing to sell off, breaking an EMA. That is a double negative that could bring us lower. Momentum does want to round away. We have a double red dot. Stochastic is falling. RSI is dropping. VWAP is breaking into the bearish territory, and money flow is pulling back. So overall, I would exercise caution. Over on the 2-hour, momentum is rounding. We have bearish divergence that did bring us down. Stochastic had the same, and it is crashing. If that stochastic does not rebound, RSI will continue lower, and we could see that bring price action down as well. VWAP has lower lows with lower highs, bringing that momentum down, and if that continues, money flow could end up pushing toward that neutral, and if we're not careful, if it flips red, we could see a strong sell-off. Over on the 1-hour, we are breaking away from that resistance as well. Momentum is dropping, money flow is weakening as that VWAP favors bearish. Stochastic is favoring bearish as well, and RSI is trending down. I would exercise caution if we lose this EMA level. Our next support is going to be that 50-cent area, and if we break that, we may trend back to the 300 EMA, right around that 45. So those would be your next support areas, and then we do have the same resistances of 54, 57, and 60. So last but not least, unless you drop a comment and ask for something special, ALGO is trying to push to the top of this flag. That could be positive. If we can break away and hold, then we could try to trend to our 1618. Stochastic is running forward. We do have blue above orange. RSI is gaining strength. VWAP is in the bullish territory. Momentum is pushing forward as well, and money flow is gaining strength. Overall, that is good. If that VWAP can remain bullish here, momentum can continue this bullish cross, and that money flow could flip from red to green. Over on the 4-hour here, we are pushing toward the top, so we do want to break and hold in the next couple candles. Otherwise, if we reject, we could see this be our third top, and then likely the next break to the downside could bring us lower. So I would exercise caution because remember, that could give us some new lows on ALGO. Over on the 4-hour, stochastic does want to round away. Momentum is rounding. VWAP is pulling back. Money flow is bullish. So we do look positive that VWAP needs to sustain a bullish trend if money flow is going to stay bullish and help push the higher time frames up, the 4-hour and the daily. Over on the 2-hour, money flow is bullish. VWAP is weak. Watch that VWAP close. If it breaks that neutral, momentum will start to draw down, and money flow could start to make a break as well. That would result in a rejection of the top and possibly a break of our 300 EMA that we are currently trying to hold. Watch for a retest of that EMA, then a bounce if we do not make our break here. If we can get that retest, bounce, and then break from there, we could still run forward. But if we get a retest, bounce, and reject, it's likely we would still trend lower despite not breaking forward or breaking lower right away. Remember that EMA could have us hung up for quite some time. Finally, on the 1-hour, we are trending forward. I would watch. This is a pretty straight shot up. The highs and lows don't really connect in my opinion though, so this could be a bullish continuation channel. A bullish continuation channel, unlike a rising channel, the highs don't connect, and that does help push you further up the rising channel. The highs and lows connect, and that does help push you down. Sorry, throat getting dry. Stochastic is running forward. VWAP is in the bullish territory, very weak, so watch if it can hold. If that VWAP can hold, money flow could push up, momentum could continue bullish, and we could try to make that break. However, if that VWAP breaks into the bearish territory, that's where we would see that break to the downside. Thanks for watching tonight's video. I hope you all have a great night. We will look at Gary Networks since you asked for disclosure to crypto, so we will look at Gary again. If I can get that to appear here. I forgot what key I hit. There we go, Gary. If I can spell, that would help too. So Gary Tether we will go with. So we do want to start on the dailies. We are trending within our channel. We did get a break of that channel. This is a descending channel. That descending channel could try to push us forward. So we would want to hold in this channel to call this a manipulation push. Otherwise, this could end up breaking us lower, as these lows and highs would not really connect right here, and that could be more of a bearish continuation channel, which would end up breaking you down. VWAP is pushing up, stochastic is gaining strength, RSI is pushing up, momentum is pushing forward as well, and money flow is running forward as well, so we do look like we're gaining some steam. I would just exercise a little caution if we reject right here. Over on the 4-hour, we are trying to retest our support area, so we want to continue forward from here. And if we can continue forward, we may retest the 300 EMA. If we can flip that EMA, then we would push to our resistance area. RSI is pulling back, stochastic does want to round away, momentum is starting to pull back as well. VWAP is in the bullish territory, getting a higher high, so we want a higher low after that. If we can get a higher low here, momentum could remain bullish, money flow could flip bullish, and we could see a strong run up. Over on the 2-hour, we do have a rejection of our 300 EMA, so I would exercise caution. If we cannot break and hold that EMA, it's likely we would trend lower. So we want to break and hold over the next push forward. If we get another push forward and we don't make it to that EMA, that's where we could end up breaking down. Momentum does want to round. We have a red dot. VWAP is breaking down and money flow is pulling back. So I would exercise caution. We are trying to trend off that support level, and we do need to continue. This 1 hour, we are continuing off the 300 EMA, so that does give us the support for that push on the 2 hour. If we can continue off our EMA, then we could continue to run up. Stochastic does want to curl forward. VWAP is trying to break bullish. Momentum is pulling back, and money flow is trying to break that neutral. So if that VWAP can break into a bullish trend, we do have higher lows. So if we can get further higher highs or consistent highs, then we could continue up. But if that VWAP rejects our neutral, we will see momentum pull back, money flow would reject, and then we would pull out of our channel and break our 300 EMAs. Thank you for watching tonight's video. I appreciate all of you. Have a great